I will say the idea of being in a
Yeah.
driverless cab and not having to talk to somebody feels nice.
And by the way, the best thing, you don't have to tip the cab.
Like I feel like if I don't need to talk to anybody, then that is.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What is it about you that wants to eliminate people's jobs?
I don't think it does.
You don't think it does?
I think that.
So you're happy that you don't have to tip somebody?
Yeah, that's because tipping culture is out of control.
It's out of control.
Well, no, it is. But somebody driving you at 1 a.m. when you're drunk to make sure you, A, don't get a DUI, and B, you get home safely, I don't think is a horrible thing.
Let me give you a little story about today.
Okay.
So I dropped my car off for service.
Right.
My beautiful Hyundai Elantra.
Exactly right.
From the Southern California Hyundai dealers. And I drop it off, and I get an Uber to come to the station, and I smell weed when I get in.
Okay.
Now, I am not a believer in high driving.
Right.
I would never run into that, obviously, with a Waymo. I would never have a stoned driver. But in that scenario, do you go with that driver, or do you say, I'll take the next one?
I would try to sense how high he is.
I could smell it.
Well,
he had clearly been smoking.
Okay, did you say something to him?
No, what are you supposed to say?
Hey, man, I smell weed. I'm going to take the next one. Sorry.
Is that what you would do?
It depends on how high I thought the person really was.
But at that point, you're already in the car.
I was in the car.
At that point, you're just gonna hey, pull over right here. Like
I
I'm not.
I think you can. I haven't experienced that.
Yeah.
I've experienced some crazy drivers, and I've just kind of been like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've never experienced where the weed, like it was knocking you over type of smell.
It was serious.
Okay.
It was very green in that cab.
Did you get a contact in there?
Did not get a It wasn't so bad. Okay. Bergman, if you smelled weed when you got into an Uber, would you say, I'll take the next one, or would you just ride along?
I would probably just ride along. I don't care.
See, I just don't believe in that high driving.
Yeah, okay, so you would get out because you don't want to.
Yeah.
It might not have been him. He
I'm
could have had
talking
another
a big
person
game.
in the car.
I'm talking a big game because I just went with the car.
But also, it doesn't have to be the driver that did it if it smelled. It could have been the guy that was sitting in the
could have been a
passenger
passenger.
Previous passenger.
Think about that, did
That's
you,
a good
Mr.
point.
Waymo?
I did not. I did
Didn't
not.
think about the carjackings either, did you?
By the way, you know what? I think this is a great question for Jacob.
We can ask.
Oh, yeah.
About Waymo and Jacob knows.
Oh, Jacob will
Do you
know.
want to be in a Waymo when a riot's going on and you're driving through it?
No, and
or
you
do you
don't-
want a human driver that's
And by
going to be
the
able
way,
to drive you
don't
out of
want
there?
to be in a hurricane either.
Same question.
No,
but
you
wouldn't the
don't have a
Waymo,
Waymo in a
might
hurricane.
know the hurricane's coming?
If there were twisters, you don't want to be in any car, especially not a Waymo. You're presenting the most outrageous scenarios.
I don't
No,
know. See, we got a tweet about it. Like Bob says, I think you're at a slightly higher risk at a carjacking with Waymo because those individuals who carjack, I believe, are more likely to try it if there is no driver. Whether or not they get away with it is a different story.
Yeah, there's no data to support that.
Because it's not around. But when it's
because
around,
it's never happened.
Carjacking's going to be happening.
We've
crazy
got
on the
Waymos
Waymo.
all over town. We don't
Where?
I see them on the 10 all the time. I see them downtown. I see the Waymos.
I don't see them a lot of times.
I do see them in a lot of places, and nobody has carjacked one.
Yeah, but all of your data was wrong, too. It said that more accidents happen in the Waymo than a regular person. By half.
There are only 9 accidents per million miles in Waymos.
Yeah,
and
but
there's never been a
humans
fatality.
were 4.2.
Was that right? 4.2.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't recall the numbers that I threw out a while ago.
Those
I don't
were the
even know.
numbers that
I
you
believe
did.
those are faulty. I don't
You
believe
get
in
me.
that.
How about this? Let's get a Waymo. Let's drive through a riot and let's see what happens.
drive through a riot.
Yeah, we'll have to arrange for a riot in order to do it. By the way, also, if no, I'm not even going to go there. All right, coming up next for you, we're going to do some games. It is Brian Cohen's game today, and the great Jacob Imrani, who has played really, really well the last month or so, will be in here to play. Mesa in Ireland, live imaging Tuesday. Don't forget, it's a combo plate. Got the All-Star game coming up for you, and we've got Cappy and Shadano in about 15 minutes for some Supercross talk. Mesa in Ireland, Marcus Grant in for John, 710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive. The fun way to drive home on 710.
Oh, wow, man. He, as a wrestler, dude, how long has it been since he's wrestled? Because this guy's
Dave Bautista's been
20 years.
dude, he's 55 years old.
Yeah.
But, man, back in the day, dude, he was all sauced out of his face.
He was great. And then he had, like, the falling out with them, and then they weren't going to let him in the Hall of Fame, and it was a whole thing. And then,
Oh, my God. If you could guarantee, man, I could have that body, I'll take every steroid he took.
The LA Afternoon Takeover with Sedano and Cap. Next at 4 p.m.
on 710 ESPN. Be one of the first to experience Cosm. UFC 304. Leon Edwards looks to defend the welterweight title against Bilal Muhammad. Take UFC to a new level where every fight comes to life, putting you cage side. Wrap yourself in the heart-pounding action of every knockout, strike, and submission. Experience a match like never before. Edwards versus Muhammad, all in shared reality. Limited tickets only at Cosm Los Angeles.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And for less than $30 a month, we make your phone your ride or die. Switch now and pick a free 5G phone with qualified plan purchase. And your fourth line at no additional cost. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Raid wants to know, what would you do if you could confidently face every day knowing you and your loved ones are protected? Would you sing along to your favorite song at the top of your lungs? Turn off the GPS and let your heart do the guiding. Go to the drive-thru and order one of everything. Feel the buzz of confidence of knowing you are protected with 65 years of insect science in your hands. Raid. Protection for everyone.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com. Call Jacob. Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle. Call Jacob. Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, here we go. It is Game of Games time. Marcus Grant is here to play. It is Brian Cohen's game today, and Jacob Imrani is here. Jacob, what's going on, man?
Hey, just happy to be here. Happy to meet Marcus for the
good
first
to meet
time.
you, Jacob.
Thank you.
You've played really well lately. You've been in the chase on a regular basis.
I've had some much better results in the past few weeks, yes.
Yes. All right, Brian Cohen, what do we got cooking for a game today?
All right, we got a birthday game today, Will Ferrell's 57th birthday.
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
Yeah, one of my favorite actors of all time, so a little
kind
tribute
of a
game.
big deal.
Right. All right, multiple choice and a couple true or false.
Okay.
Start off here. Will Ferrell was a featured cast member on SNL for 7 years. What year did Will Ferrell become a featured cast member? 93, 95, or 1997?
Start with me. I'll say 95. Jacob?
I will say 97.
Marcus?
I'm going to go 93.
Greg?
You know SNL. I'm going to go 95.
Glad you did. It is 1995.
I didn't actually know that. I knew it was
a good guess.
Ballparked it, yeah.
Number 2. Will Ferrell's first starring role after he left SNL was which role? Buddy the Elf, Ron Burgundy, or Frank the Tank?
Jacob.
Oh, wow.
Can you say that one more time?
His first feature role after SNL, Buddy the Elf from Elf, Ron Burgundy from Anchorman, or Frank the Tank from Old School?
Elf. Buddy the Elf.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah, I'm going to go Frank the Tank.
I'm also going Frank the Tank.
It is Frank the Tank.
Jeez, it's old for it, too.
Oh. Know your Ferrell.
All those movies came out in the same year, too. So.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
That's a good year.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Okay.
What does Will Ferrell say his favorite movie was that he appeared in? Step Brothers, Kicking and Screaming, or Talladega Nights?
Bergman.
Marcus.
Oh, no, we started with Marcus before. Start with you, Greg.
Jacob?
They started with Jacob before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Marcus. Sorry.
Okay, so wait, what are the three choices?
Will Ferrell says his
let me do it.
His
I got
favorite
it. I got
film:
it.
Step Brothers, Kicking and Screaming, or Talladega Nights.
I'm gonna say Step Brothers.
I'm going to say Kicking and Screaming. Mace?
I am going to say Kicking and Screaming.
Jacob?
I'm going to continue to go on my own and say Talladega Nights.
Should have went Kicking and Screaming.
Mike Ditka was in that.
It was not a good movie.
No, but Mike Ditka was in it, so he probably got to hang out with
He
him.
played like a soccer coach?
Yeah, I just
like
figured the
that.
John C. Reilly connection. Because they were really good friends once upon a time.
He said it was his favorite because his son was born during that time.
Bergman, what do we got for a score?
So Mace 3, Greg 3, Marcus 1, Jacob.
Oh, Jacob.
Where you at, Jacob? You win 3 in a row and this
Jacob.
happened?
Oh, no.
All right, we got number 4. True or false here? True or false? Will Ferrell still holds the record for receptions made in a single season at his high school.
So this is me. I'm going to say true. Mace.
True.
Marcus.
That feels true.
Jacob.
I will go true this time.
I was actually false.
Did somebody get it right?
Nobody.
No, we all got it
Nobody
wrong.
got it right.
It seemed like a one that was like, okay, yeah, you did.
It just felt true the way you asked it.
Varsity football, he holds the record for most field goals.
Ah,
he
it was
still
a
holds that.
kicker.
He's a cappy.
All right, another true or false here.
How many are left?
I got 5 left. I think.
Okay.
True or false? He was the last guest alongside Tom Hanks on the David Letterman show.
Mace.
False.
Jacob.
True.
Marcus.
True.
True.
Mace, this one's you is false.
Oh,
It was Bill Murray, I think.
It was Bill Murray and Tom
Yeah.
Hanks.
Bill Murray was on the first episode of David Letterman and the last episode of David Letterman.
That makes sense.
You know what I realized? I do much better when Mason's on vacation.
I got one coming up.
He was actually the last guest for Conan.
Oh,
as well. Yeah,
okay.
he was.
Got
Yeah.
it.
All right, number 6 here. Ferrell graduated from USC with what degree? Performing arts, musical theater, sports information.
Jacob.
I will go with sports information.
Marcus.
Yeah, I'm gonna say sports information.
What was the second one?
Musical theater.
I'm going to go musical theater.
I'm going to go performing arts.
It is sports information.
Oh, Jacob and Marcus.
All right. There you go.
On the board, Jacob.
Not bad.
Yeah.
All right, in 2007, Will was ranked on EW's 50 smartest people in Hollywood list. Where did he rank? 17th, 32, or 49th?
Marcus.
32.
17, 32, or what?
49.
17. Mace.
32.
Jacob.
I have to go against everybody. 49.
It is 17.
Oh, it's 17.
So I got that one.
That was
I
pure.
got
That was
one.
purely a guess.
What's the score, Bergman?
So it's Mace 4, Greg 4, Marcus 2, Jacob 1. How many are left?
I got 3 left.
Okay.
3 left. So you're still alive, Jacob.
I am okay.
But we're going to go with Mace to start, the leaders to start.
Number 8.
I'll
In
go
high
first.
school, Will Ferrell worked as what? A teller at Wells Fargo, a usher at a movie theater, or a pizza delivery driver?
It's me. I will go with. What was the first one?
Teller at Wells Fargo.
Teller at Wells Fargo. Mace.
Usher in a movie theater.
Marcus.
I gotta make up ground. So pizza delivery guy.
Jacob.
I'm going to go with that, too.
It is a teller at Wells Fargo.
Yeah,
Bergman takes a lead.
All right, I gotta go. And sorry, Jacob, you are out.
Jacob.
Marcus, I believe with 2
Jacob,
left, you are out as well.
I'm out. All right.
All right,
wow.
me and you, Mace.
All right, here we
5
go.
to 4.
2 left.
Big
here.
surprise. Big surprise.
In the movie Semi-Pro, Jackie Moon's team beats which team in the Mega Bowl, and that team would eventually lead to the NBA expansion in the movie Semi-Pro? Is it the Pacers, the Nets, or the Spurs?
It's me. I saw it one time a long time ago. I'm gonna go with the Spurs.
Say the names again.
The Pacers, the Nets, or the Spurs?
I'll take a shot on Pacers.
I should have went with the Spurs.
Hey, I got it.
damn.
So with
Oh,
1
you
left, I have a
clinched.
2-point lead. That's a win
That's
for
a
me.
wrap, huh?
That is a wrap. You want to do the tiebreaker just for
Yeah,
fun
do the
for everybody?
tiebreaker for.
All right, we got the tiebreaker. How much did both Anchorman 1 and Anchorman 2 gross at the domestic box office
Okay.
combined?
I've got a number in my head.
Combined?
Combined.
I will say $67 million.
67. Oh, I went way
I was gonna go 33 million.
I went 678, so that was way off.
No.
I'm going 99.
Well, combined 211 million.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
211
I feel like most of
million.
it though was Anchorman 2 because I feel like the first Anchorman didn't gross a lot at the box office.
That is correct.
It kind of took off after the fact.
Right. Yeah, once it went to cable, it's like it caught
Right.
on, and you could get.
So then everybody's like, "Well, now we're all in for Anchorman 2."
I loved
So-
Anchorman 2. Some people just hated Anchorman 2.
It was stupid.
So Jacob, we were talking about. Congrats, Greg. We were talking about driverless taxis.
Yes.
This technology is coming. Now, what is that going to do to your profession? If somebody there are 9 accidents per million trips in a driverless car. What if somebody's involved in an accident and there are Waymos in town right now? What do they do?
Well, I mean, obviously, the Waymo is going to have a company behind it, and it's going to be insured.
Right.
So at the end of the day, as everything moves forward to driverless cars
Yep.
or anything, you're going to have big insurance companies that are going to be basically standing behind with big policies.
Right.
But I have to tell you, Waymos freak me out.
You know what? I
mean,
had the best experience in
have you?
San
Yeah.
Francisco.
I just don't like to sit somewhere where I don't have control.
Right.
And when you're in that car, and I was watching something the other day online where a Waymo was behind a red light.
Yep.
And somebody just went on top of it and started to kick the window.
Is
on
that
the Waymo.
right?
Yes,
exactly
absolutely.
what Morales was talking about.
Yes.
So somebody tried to carjack the Waymo?
Literally, I think the person was holding up, hey, can you give me $5 or something? And then they just went on top of the car, and then they just kicked and kicked and kicked and kicked.
Wow.
They broke the whole front window.
Oh,
in.
yeah. LA man tries and fails to carjack self-driving Waymo.
And it was just nuts for me because imagine if you were sitting in that car.
Yep.
And somebody was on the outside. What happens? Is the computer supposed to lock the doors and not let anybody come in, which means you can't go out? I mean, how is the computer really trained to deal with something? I kept waiting for the Waymo to take off and see this guy just get thrown off the car, but he was just sitting there like literally like a robot. Somebody comes and just keeps punching, just waits.
Yeah.
It's
apparently it was not a successful carjacking, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you look at that. So, there's a lot of stuff that's coming. I mean, we get a lot of Tesla, mechanical issues where there's accidents. And I don't see that that's going to change with the driverless taxis or any other type of cars.
Okay, real quick, I want to ask you. We were talking about it a little bit off the air. Lakers are clearly running it back. Same group. There was some idea that Gary Trent Jr. might be on the menu for the Lakers, that they may look for Gary Trent Jr. He's signed in Milwaukee now. So we got the same crew that we had last year. How do you feel? just be honest.
I mean, listen, literally there was times last year when I watched them play and you would say to yourself, these guys can go really far. Right. And I think as we were just talking before the show started is I believe that the best thing about this is that everybody on this team is familiar with each other.
Right. Continuity.
Now, you're running the same players back, but you're not running it back with the same coaching staff.
Correct.
So having a new coach that's going to run a different type of a system using these players a different way, can you get a different result? I think as fans, that's what we're all looking forward to because basically this is all we've gotten in the summer.
This is what we got.
Yep, that's it.
Hey, Game of Games is brought to you by the great Jacob Imrani. He is the real deal. If you're involved in any kind of accident at all, call 844-24-JACOB or just remember, calljacob.com. Great seeing you, Jacob.
Great to see you.
And coming up next for you, we're going to do some super crosstalk in 60 seconds.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com. The summer of soccer will come to a close at SoFi Stadium with Arsenal and Manchester United going head-to-head in the ultimate Rivals in Red match on July 27th. Feel the excitement as these legendary clubs face off for the first time in Los Angeles. It's a battle of one of England's fiercest rivalries that you won't want to miss. Experience this historic matchup. Arsenal versus Manchester United. Buy your tickets and suites now at SoFiStadium.com.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light. Made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Wow,
that was intense.
Elaborate.
That was a whole
really,
thing.
Really,
that was a whole thing.
Nailed that one.
I think he's just excited that I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. Aren't you getting ready to go to France?
To Europe tomorrow night.
Oh,
yes.
that's
Yes.
fantastic. So, where in Europe are you going to? I know you're going to France because
Well,
I've
we're
heard you
gonna go
parlez-vous
to the
français a little bit.
Si, parlez-vous français. We're going to go to the UK for a few days, then we're going to go to France, and then we're going to back end it in Spain on a beach day.
Spain is beautiful. Where are you going in Spain? Sitges?
We're going to go to a town just south of Barcelona.
Yeah, I think it's Sitges.
Barcelona?
I spent some time there. It's a
I'd
beach
have
town.
to look it up.
Yeah.
Barcelona, yes, exactly, Mark. Yes, yes.
Barcelona.
Yes.
And they've got those drippy castles in Barcelona.
Oh, yeah,
the ones
the Gaudis, all the Gaudis.
looks
and
like
stuff.
a melted candle. It's beautiful to see
Park
those.
Güell is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is definitely a cool trip to make. I'm also realizing how washed I am, by the way.
Yeah.
Ireland hooked me up with the iSpot Active
shirt
a while back. It is one of my most prized possessions. I got to be honest with you. Whenever I work out, I'm so washed these days. I'm like, oh, man, this feels great. I never want to take this thing off. I know I'm only supposed to wear it for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But this feels so good. So I'm not an endorser for iSpot Active, but when Ireland talks about it, you should get one.
Yeah. James Worthy is big on that product, too.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of work, I think I'm probably working out too much now.
Why is that?
Oh, the summer shred has gone too far?
It's every single night now that I go to work out.
You're taking it to the next level.
I'm not really taking days off. I'm doing a lot of cardio, and I'm lifting virtually every night, and I feel like I destroyed myself last night.
You need like a yoga day in there somewhere.
I do need a yoga day.
In there.
Wait, but you're working out 7 days a week?
Yeah, 7 days a week.
No, that you need a rest day somewhere. You're too we're all too old for that stuff.
No, I'm telling you, I work different things. Like I did legs and arms the other day, and yesterday I did neck, shoulders, pec.
You're with the guy who trains the stars.
He's the
for,
trainer
film
to the
roles.
stars and me.
Right.
You should be considered one of the stars. I mean,
yeah, I would agree.
I would just say this, that I know a lot of people today came onto the radio, came onto TV, et cetera, talking about last night's home run derby.
Yes.
And no one was talking about Teoscar Hernandez and his win. Rather, they were talking about the worst national anthem that we've seen in many, many years.
Well,
the format. Like the sports conversation has not even been about him. It's been about the format or the lack of home runs. So to your point, Cappy, it's not about Teoscar at all. Poor guy.
Right. But the singer has gone into rehab.
Well,
today.
that's what she said.
I saw that.
That's what she said. And
so I knew you would do this.
What?
I knew
You're
would
questioning it?
No,
yes,
I'm not questioning
I knew you would do it.
No,
I knew. Yes, you are. You're absolutely.
No.
doing
It was like it's like wow, that's so sad, but it's also somewhat convenient.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know. I mean, listen. I've never
Why
heard of
would
the girl.
you question this poor
I've
girl?
never heard of the girl before. Have you guys ever heard of her?
I mean,
No,
I
I'm
also
never-
not a big country music.
I never.
person.
I never have.
Neither am I. And listen, I'm not saying that she didn't. Hey, look, alcoholism and drug abuse and rehab has impacted my life greatly.
Sure.
So I don't mean to make fun, but it's just like, whoa, that was one of the worst national anthems I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And it's like, as the whole world is beating up on her today, it's like, hey, guess what, guys? Got bad news. I was wasted. I got to go to rehab. And what caught me was her comment, which was, I'm told it sounds like fun or something like that. I don't think of rehab.
I did not see
There's a
that.
little sarcastic note at the end of
right.
it. That,
but here's my bigger point, George. You ready?
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to say something right now that I've never said before.
No.
Okay.
Would that be something factual?
Made up?
Both of those, it may not be factual.
I mean, you have said publicly that you don't believe in journalism, you believe in sensationalism. So that's why I asked.
I'm a bigger fan of sensationalism. I believe in
It's more
journalism.
fun.
I don't believe journalism still exists necessarily. But that all being said, I want to make an offer right now.
Oh, here we go. That we can't refuse?
I want to make an offer that's exactly right. You could have a USC football game, an LA Kings hockey game, a Rams game at SoFi Stadium, a Laker game across the street at Crypto.com. I'll go to LAFC and BMO. I'm now ready to sing the national anthem live, a cappella, not lip-synced, not recorded. I'm now ready to do the national anthem at any sporting event, anywhere, at any time, based on two things.
What?
One, the horrific national anthem that I saw and listened to last night.
Yeah.
This is a setup.
And two, the incredible, amazing, world-class national anthem as performed by Steve Mason, a.k.a. Mace, and me this past week, Friday.
It was
That was
really
that
good
was
anthem.
pretty special.
Not bad.
It
Pretty
was a good
special.
anthem, I have to admit.
Unrehearsed.
Yeah, unrehearsed. We
George,
just went out there. and-
unrehearsed, George. When Mace hit a high note,
What are you guys, like Simon and Garfunkel now?
you are,
I'm Simon, he's Garfunkel.
yeah, you're the little guy.
Yeah.
And I'm the guy with the funny hairdo.
I'm the one with a career after we break up.
And I'm the guy that just kind of retired. You know, and just sort of went away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if Fergie thought of going to rehab after she sang the anthem at the All-Star game.
Carl Lewis also.
Carl
perhaps.
Lewis, yeah.
Perhaps
Yeah,
rehab.
yeah.
Roseanne Barr, et cetera, et cetera.
But rehab is a very, very difficult thing, and she says she was intoxicated last night during the anthem. She is checked into a facility today, and I'm not about to question her.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll leave that to you,
Okay.
Captain.
I do a lot of questioning. Of
You
things.
do.
But I will just say this. After watching that anthem last night, I realized how good ours was. We didn't go in the back and harmonize and go, hey, we didn't have like one of those little, what do they call those little like harmonica things?
A pitch thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those little things. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
Because I told you how to start.
Right.
Oh.
Right. And then I went, oh. And
You gotta start low.
And all we did was go, oh, we're ready.
And you're just
Yep.
like, that's it. Just
Yeah.
in sync.
Rolled.
Amazing.
Rolled.
Amazing.
Hey, today, before we get out of here, it's
you
it's Will Ferrell's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday. Well, how old is he today?
57.
57.
Okay, happy birthday, Will.
He is,
What a great guy.
I think, one of the, and I was racking my brain on this, one of the three greatest comedic actors of all time.
Who would you put in there with him?
Charlie Chaplin and Peter Sellers.
Oh, stop.
Wow.
Stop.
No, I'm serious.
You're not going to put Charlie Chaplin.
I
in
am.
there.
I'm
You're
putting
not.
Charlie Chaplin.
I
Great
won't allow
comedic
it.
actor.
Come on.
No, what do you mean?
Come on, stop.
He's a great comedic actor. What do you not put Charlie Chaplin in there for?
Well, because I don't know enough of his work.
Well, he was very funny, very genius,
Okay,
right?
George, you got a lot of Charlie Chaplin, whatever.
Who are the greatest comedic actors of all time if it goes beyond mine?
How about if we do this? Of the generation.
Okay,
All
of
right.
the generation.
Okay.
Of the
Will
generation.
Ferrell. Okay, I'll put him in there.
Yep.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie
For
Murphy
sure.
belongs on the list.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie
I know
Murphy's
you,
great.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay, who else?
Who else is in that category?
Who else?
I mean, is Steve Martin of the generation?
Yes,
yeah,
Steve Martin's of the generation.
He's a genius.
Okay.
Jim Carrey.
Greg says Jim Carrey. Very good.
You throw Steve Martin, you can throw in Martin Short, who I think is fantastic.
Right. Love Martin Short.
But I think Will Ferrell is above all.
Will Ferrell is an amazing actor. You know, Eddie Murphy's an incredible comedian who could also act.
Correct.
Will is actually an actor, not a comedian per se.
Yeah.
Although he's done these one-man shows. Like, remember when he did that George Bush show where he was like a one-man George Bush show?
Yes.
Right. But I'll tell you a quick story. This is my Will Ferrell story.
Okay.
Many, many years ago, this is probably pushing a good 20 years ago or so.
Okay.
Will's not quite the superstar that he is today.
Yep.
He has been a spokesperson for an organization called Cancer for College.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's really great. One of his best buddies from USC started this organization because this young man had cancer himself. And so what he did is he wanted to start raising money for students who had cancer but needed money to go to college.
Okay.
Cancer for College.
Yes.
And Will became their face guy, their spokesperson, because they were USC pals, right? And I got to play 18 holes of golf with Will one day down in Temecula. And at the first tee box, he said to me, and everybody that was with us, there were 4 or 5 of us in the group, and he goes, I'm just letting everybody know, I'm not here to entertain everybody all day.
Right.
I'm not here to do stand-up for you. Actually, I'm not even really funny. Okay? I'm an actor. I'm not even really that funny. And we spent the next 5 hours together, and it was a great experience. But he is not like a guy who takes over the whole room. You know,
Bill Murray.
So he can
Bill
he
Murray.
can turn it
Bill
on and
Murray.
off, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's an actor.
Okay.
You know?
Robin Williams.
Like not yes.
Robin Williams,
Come on,
very
man.
much.
Charlie Chaplin. Come on.
Charlie Chaplin was
I know,
funny.
but
He did sort of
Robin
change the
Williams-
game.
Yeah, no, he's really seriously. He
I know,
was
but
funny.
he's like Babe Ruth.
That's why I'm comparing Will Ferrell to him.
Yeah.
Because I think Will Ferrell's one of the all. By the way, you know Will Ferrell's real name?
No.
Mike.
Mike what?
Mike Farrell?
Mike Farrell.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
and
Will
there
his
already
middle name,
was
or-
a Mike Farrell. Remember
Oh,
from MASH?
yeah.
Mike Farrell. So he hates
was
being
John.
called Mike. What's
John.
that?
John Farrell.
Oh, John Farrell.
What was the question that Brian asked during Game of Games about him scoring the most touchdowns or something?
Most field goals.
Oh, is that what it
He
is?
ended up
what
taking
it's-
those field goals
He
in his
leads
high
his high school in field goals.
All time?
All time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Do
that.
you lead in field goals all time at your high school?
No, I don't.
Really?
No, not even close.
It's a big kicker school, huh?
No, well, I mean that I only played my senior year of high school.
Oh, that's right.
You know,
Yeah.
but I mean I was so exceptional
Exceptional that you ended up at Pitt.
I had many colleges
Yeah.
recruiting me. How about that?
So Shadano, are you going to the Olympics?
No, I'll be gone the day of the opening ceremonies.
Oh, okay. Well, you're probably good to get out of town at that point. It's going to
Yeah.
be it's going to be wild.
Madness.
Yeah, too many people.
Are you going to go to the Louvre?
The Louvre? I will probably go to the Louvre at some point.
There's cool stuff at the Louvre, like the
I've heard
lady
that.
that's got a half smile on her face.
Yeah.
She's there. I'm like, smile,
Yeah.
lady. Give us a big
Yeah.
smile.
There's the big naked guy, the shepherd guy, David.
David
he's
is there.
He's
Yeah,
there.
no, it's the Louvre is awesome, and the entrance is like that big pyramid, glass
Yeah,
pyramid.
yeah,
It's really cool. And how long will you be gone?
Couple weeks.
Nice.
But is it like 2 weeks or is it more than 2 weeks?
I mean, it's like 2 weeks and change.
2 weeks
Why?
and 2 days, 2 weeks
Why?
and 3 days.
Well,
Why
why
do you care?
You working out a schedule or what
Well,
are you doing?
here, because it's funny. This is like the time of the year, and I was actually just telling somebody this today. I'm like, this is like my busiest time of the year, and they
Right.
go, really? That's so strange to me. I would think football season. I'm like, no, you don't get it. George, and I said just like this, George. I go, George, and I don't begrudge him for 1 second because he works his ass off. George goes from the NBA season to the summer where he takes an extended break,
Right.
and then he goes right into the football season.
Yes.
I'm like, so this is kind of his only time of the year
Yeah.
to take a real vacation. So he's kind of got to put it all into one. And I'm like, and he's going to Europe with his entire family.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So for me now, I got, Lindsay doesn't work when George isn't here.
Oh, okay.
Lindsay does not work when George
that a
isn't
thing?
here.
Is that a thing?
That is a thing.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not here,
when
so I don't
George
know.
is, when Shadano's not here, Lindsay doesn't work.
When George doesn't work, Lindsay's like, I refuse to work with Cap by myself.
interesting.
So
Interesting.
without Sedano here, she doesn't work. In fact, George, I don't know if you heard this or not, but last week when she was on the air, this was like her last day. She was like, well, I'm not going to the softball game because if I don't get to hit first, then I'm not going. So I'm taking a
kinda sounds like
vacation
her a
day.
little
No, it's
bit.
exactly what it was. And I said to her on there, I go, is there any chance you go to Cleveland and not come back? Is that possible? Would you possibly? So now, George, she asked me to get her. She hey-kinged me. She needed tickets to SummerSlam, the WWE wrestling event in Cleveland. And I told her, I said, I'll get you the tickets, but you have to promise to not come back. Right? Right? And so I got the tickets, but I haven't given them to her yet because she hasn't promised me yet that she won't come
I
back.
sense animosity there.
No animosity.
No animosity.
No animosity at all.
Sedano, do you sense animosity there?
I mean, there's always animosity.
Yeah. Well, I've got so here's Bergman said something to me that totally pissed me off today.
But by the way, the beauty of our show is that the contentious nature doesn't really matter. That is
the
actually.
show.
I mean, it's sort of
The
built
show
in,
is
right?
is the tension, right? They're like the hilarious nature of the tension. I think is part of the allure.
Right. So I map out my vacation days before the summer starts, and I get them all to Bergman. And so I've got a day next Friday and a day the following Monday. And you said Ireland's going to be so pissed off, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Ireland's going to be so pissed off that I'm using my vacation days? Is that for real?
Yeah, whenever you're
when
off
you told me
Ireland,
this story,
Matt.
you said something else, but you didn't.
Well, it's true what I said.
Yeah,
What'd you
I know.
say?
Ireland misses its fair share of days, especially during basketball season. I should be able to take a day off without Ireland getting pissed off.
By the way, last week
No animosity here.
By the way, that should never be a point even that should be made. Who cares?
Agreed. Agreed. We're all playing by the rules that we've been given.
It's all. It was. You have the days off. Doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
I was just on like, oh, I'm gonna have to deal with that.
Is he going to draft a
that
terrible?
That sounds like a Greg problem,
like a
not a
Greg
Mason
problem,
problem.
right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
It does sound like a management problem. Yeah.
Do you think he set you
it's a me
up
problem.
with a bad team?
No, I don't think. Do you think he did it on purpose?
Yes.
Probably.
I think he was trying to get back at me for making him not talk about Bronny James at the beginning of the second
And I'm
round.
the one that had to pay the
So
price.
like, how does that get back at you?
Yeah, because he was like, oh, I don't want to do this. I'm
You
gonna
ended
screw
up on
over
the good
Greg, and
team.
I'm
I ended up with the bad team.
Wait, he didn't want to talk about Bronny James?
did. So
He
it
did.
It was the second round was just starting. Bronny James was another 25 picks from then.
Yes.
And he was freaking out.
He wanted to do full breakdown.
Full breakdown.
Yeah.
About Bronny, and that was
He
so
wanted
got
to be
really-
Jay Billis?
Apparently,
Yes, he did.
He was very, very angry
Yeah.
that we were not talking about the second round of the NBA draft.
So, Shadano, am I going to talk to you tomorrow, or are you off?
No, I'm gone, dude. Yeah.
All right. Well, have a fantastic time.
By the way,
Thanks,
Riz
bud.
wouldn't mind Lindsay working in Cleveland for me.
That's what
there
I
you go.
said. I said
Call
to her,
Riz.
I
said,
talked to
one-
Riz last week.
did you?
I mean, listen, we talked about the producer transfer portal, amongst our own. Could we do one with Cleveland? Is what Cappy's asking. I feel like.
Yeah.
No, we don't need to import anything else from
No, we
Cleveland.
don't import.
Unless
we
it's
just
Riz.
deport.
We export.
Right, we export.
If we can get Riz,
Yeah, careful how you phrase that, please.
Right.
Thank you.
We don't deport. We export.
All right. See you tomorrow. Marcus, great working with you, man.
Oh, good time.
I'll see you back here on Thursday, right?
See you, Marcus.
Tomorrow, it's
Enjoy
me and
Europe.
Momo. Make sure you're here at 1.